Okay, I'm gonna take this out. Okay, so we are back, and we are back with the second Wizard Variety Show. You're gonna notice something different. I'm doing it from video this time, which is really cool because I set up this mic. It took me the last 30 minutes, but I've had it for a while, so it's like, you gotta set it up at some point. But, you know, the visual aspect will add a lot to the show. You know, my charming self, you get to see my face all the time, so that could really either kill the views or bring the views in, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's get to the general announcements of the Wizard Variety Show. And I'm your host, Sam Beckman. We're gonna have some guests on soon, but for these first few episodes, I really just want it to be me, because there's gonna be a lot of episodes where I just want it to be me, which sounds selfish, but there's just things that I want to talk about that I just get a little too carried away with, and I can't really feel like the weight of the conversation, if it's just me, I can transition compared to if someone's there and I'm just talking their ear off. So that's one. Two, Sam Beckman Art is going to be where I do all my Wizard Variety Show posts and my artwork, which I'm working on a lot of cool things. Hopefully you'll see my submission for Red Wings competition. It's a huge painting. We're going to plug it. I'm going to have it done in about 2 weeks, probably about a week before it's due, which is going to be, you know, timely. But speaking of Detroit sports, today is Martin Luther King Day, which is a great day, you know, celebrating a great man. Rest in peace. Selma's a great movie. It's a great movie to sit back and kind of put things in perspective. You know, humbling as a privileged white man, I feel honored to like be able to know about these guys, especially him, Malcolm, many others. But it's just, it's I don't know. It'll get me emotional. Anyways, Lions win. The Lions win their first playoff game since 1993, I think, and that is just incredible. The game last night, I was nervous the whole time. Jared Goff had a lot of doubters, a lot of haters, and I know a lot of people were like, why are we booing Stafford? But as a huge Detroit Pistons fan, and I know you should feel sorry for me, I think Detroit fans, we just boo regardless, and because like Andre Drummond would come back to the Pistons and everyone would just boo him, and it got me so angry. And Andre didn't put in the work as much of like Stafford did for like Detroit sports. But in a playoff situation, you cannot let Stafford know that this is a home field for him. It's not home field. It's an away field. And we support golf, not him. I love Stafford. I wish him best in his career. But that being said, I'm fine with the booing because we have to establish ourselves as the home team. And that Ford Field advantage is so big. So big. Anyways, the category of the show today is con games. Con games, whether it's a big play, a small play, something for money, lust, romance, it's something about scamming that makes a great movie. And we're going to start out with the ultimate classic, The Sting. Now, I took piano lessons for years, so I played The Entertainer, and I love that song. And I love a lot of songs from The Sting. I just recently watched the movie, and I gotta say that it does the absolute most with the con game. I mean, you got two guys, Robert Redford and Paul Newman, that are just cracked on getting some scams going, and Robert Redford really doesn't understand the complexity of a scam until he meets Paul Newman, which is another, I could make a whole movie on him, but Paul Newman is one of my favorite actors maybe ever, because he kind of like exemplifies the meaning of cool and calm and collected. I mean, just throughout the whole movie, they do the utmost to scam this guy. They set up like a horse racing ring, and everyone there is paid, which is kind of cool because it gives you like the camaraderie of, hey, we're scamming this guy together. Let's get all this money. And I love that. So that is absolutely awesome. I'm obsessed with the swagger of the movie. Speaking of that, I'm on Letterboxd now. Probably one of my new social media favorites. I'm not doing it where I'm logging every single movie I've watched. I'm kind of just doing it as I go. But I gave The Sting 5 stars because it's incredible. So next movie, Catch Me If You Can. Now I think this is like the most, not generic in a bad way, but like where you got a guy, Leo, who one of my favorite actors ever, who's just a con artist. He grew up kind of that way, grew up in a situation where he was just kind of fighting for himself, and you just see him throughout his life kind of he's just running away, and he does so many different things. And this is one of my favorite Tom Hanks performances too, because I think Tom Hanks is not straight man sexuality wise, but like straight man in the movie, you know, like he's kind of just the not as interesting, but like hard-nosed guy. I think it's like it's a great like romantic dance between the two, because you see this cat and mouse chase, and I've talked about cat and mouse chase all the time. It's what brings thrill to the movies. I think this is a Spielberg classic, and I love this movie. So that's another one that kind of goes under this con game genre. A movie that I like way better is The Departed, and The Departed is another Leo movie, and it's an underrated Leo performance. This is a boy movie. This is like a bro movie. It's about Boston guys. There's like, I feel like there's one female in this whole movie, and Vera Farmiga, she does a great job. It's just, it's not like as important as you got Matt Damon, who's like mob guy in the police, and you got Leo, who is a cop guy in the mafia. So you got this like almost Parent Trap-ish situation where they switch roles, but they don't really know that they switch roles, and they're both trying to find each other in time. And it's just, oh my, it's one of Scorsese's best movies because it's so fast. Jack Nicholson's great in this, Matt Damon's great in this, and honestly Mark Wahlberg's great in this. Like he plays that Boston jerk that everyone loves, and I don't know, it's a very sad movie. There's a lot that happens, and to watch this movie again for the first time, it used to be considered probably my favorite movie ever. It's still up there. It's still like top 10, 7, 5, you know, but yeah, it's really good. Anyways, my last movie, which I just recently saw yesterday, I think, The Producers, which is a Mel Brooks classic, from the 70s, and I love this movie. It's kind of an American Dream type con, because these two, Gene Wilder and the other guy, don't know the other guy's name, but they basically are trying to make money off a failed play, because you make more money when people invest and then it doesn't fall through, so it's like they can just keep all the money. So they try to make this most like terrible play ever that's super offensive, and I don't think this movie would be made today. It's called Springtime for Hitler, and it's what happens is they make this play around Hitler, and what ends up happening is it kind of becomes like this parody spoof, and everyone loves it because it's so ridiculous. It's funny. And so throughout the movie, you see Gene Wilder as this like accountant, and he's so funny. I mean, I always knew him from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but him screaming is just like, put that in my veins. And also, he's obsessed with this blue blanket, and like when he gets nervous, he just like holds his blanket, and I like that. So those kind of funny things, they add up to a good movie. Springtime for Hitler is such a ridiculous name. Anyways, that concludes my con game movies that I'm talking about. We're going to probably have like 1 or 2 more episodes talking about movies. I want to talk about my favorite films, and then also maybe another genre with my roommate Connor, which, big con, this could have worked for him, but it you know, it's same old. My last thing before, again, follow my Letterboxd, follow my art page, because I'm gonna keep putting out content. I'm really enjoying being creative and having a space to be creative. So I love anyone that supports me, and I really appreciate it. But if you have any suggestions for the show, you want something talked about, these are short bites, so I'm willing to talk about it. For now, this concludes the second Wizard Variety Show. I'm Sam Beckman, your host, and I will say it is an absolute pleasure. I'm in a good mood today. Happy MLK Day. Happy Lions playoff day. It should be out today. Have a good one.